Imagine walking into a room and instantly knowing who's lying, who's secretly falling apart, and who's plotting to borrow your AirPods forever. Sounds like a Marvel superpower, right? Wrong. Carl Jung, yes, the psychology guy who basically invented personality theory, thought this ability was less like X-Men and more like a psychological death sentence. Welcome to the danger of seeing what others don't. Strap in, because by the end of this video, you might realize you've been cursed or blessed with Jung's most dangerous discovery. Fact 1. The human lie detector. Jung encountered people he called differentiated perceivers. These weren't your average, "I know you're mad because you slammed the microwave" types. No, these folks could spot micro-expressions, sniff out suppressed emotions, and decode psychological patterns invisible to everyone else. Basically, if you lied about liking pineapple on pizza, they'd feel your betrayal deep in their soul. Sounds awesome, right? Nope. Jung noticed these people weren't thriving. They were miserable. Why? Because nobody likes being around a human truth serum. Imagine trying to tell a polite white lie like, "Yeah, I loved your casserole," only to have someone instantly call you out, "You hated it. And by the way, you're deeply afraid of abandonment." Yeah, dinner party ruin. And if you think being a walking lie detector makes you popular, think again. Because fact number 2 shows why people with this ability often end up as society's least favorite mirror. Fact 2. The mirror nobody wants. Here's the kicker. Jung said the problem wasn't the perception itself, it was the reaction. When these hyper-aware people reflected someone's hidden flaws or secret pain, they didn't get applause. They got attacked. Jung called this shadow projection. Translation? People would rather smash the mirror than face their reflection. So instead of saying, "Wow, thanks for showing me my unresolved childhood trauma," people usually say, "You're toxic. Get out." It's like being the only sober one at a party. You're not the problem, but somehow everyone resents you for noticing the chaos. But wait, it gets more interesting. Because not every super perceiver works the same way. Jung identified 4 archetypes of this ability, and one of them basically sounds like Professor X running on dial-up. Fact 3. The 4 archetypes of perception. Jung broke it down into 4 types. The feeling intuitive, these folks absorb everyone else's emotions like psychic sponges. Happy, sad, anxious, it all seeps in. It's like emotional Wi-Fi with no password protection. The thinking intuitive, pattern spotting geniuses. They predict relationship disasters, career meltdowns, or your next bad haircut months before it happens. They don't need tarot cards, they're human spoiler alerts. The sensation intuitive, they feel stress, illness, or pain in others' bodies. Basically, the friend who says, "Your back hurts, doesn't it?" before you even move. The pure intuitive, the rarest type. They see everything but can't explain it clearly. So they end up sounding like, "I can't prove it, but something's wrong with Chad." Each type sounds cool, but Jung said they all face the same problem. Too much perception, not enough integration. In plain English, great power, 0 user manual. And without that manual, things can go downhill fast. Because fact number 4 is about the 3 dangers that come with seeing too much. Fact 4. The 3 dangers. Jung identified 3 brutal risks of having this ability. Disrupting the collective. You see through society's polite lies and illusions. Groups run on unspoken agreements like, "Let's all pretend Greg's PowerPoint isn't terrible." Break that illusion, and suddenly you're the problem. Psychological isolation. Jung called it the curse of consciousness. When you see clearly what no one else can, you stop belonging. It's like living in 4K while everyone else is still buffering at 240p. Identity dissolution, the scariest one. You absorb so much of other people's unconscious junk that you lose track of who you are. It's like being a psychic garbage collector until you can't tell what's yours and what's trash. But don't panic yet. Jung didn't just diagnose the problem, he came up with a survival guide. And that's fact number 5. Fact 5, the path of integration. Jung's solution was what he called individuation. Sounds fancy, but think of it like downloading an antivirus for your overactive perception. Phase 1, recognition. Learn to separate what's actually yours from what you've absorbed. Just because Karen from accounting is stressed doesn't mean you need to binge Doritos in her honor. Phase 2. Shadow work. Jung said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves." Translation: before you call out Chad for being selfish, admit you've got selfish streaks too. Phase 3. Conscious participation. This is the Jedi level stuff, engaging with others' unconscious material without losing yourself in it. You become a bridge instead of a sponge. Follow this process and your curse turns into wisdom. Ignore it and you'll be that burned out truth teller everyone avoids. And here's where it gets personal. Jung wasn't just talking about patience. He lived through this nightmare himself. Fact 6. Jung's own battle between 1913 and 1919. Jung went through what he called his confrontation with the unconscious. Basically, he had visions, hallucinations, and what he described as a near psychosis. He only survived by writing it all down. Hello, the Red Book, and developing the very methods he later taught others. Think about that. Jung himself almost got wrecked by the same dangerous perception he warned about. The difference? He learned to integrate it instead of letting it consume him. And that brings us to the big question. What's the final lesson? Why does any of this matter for you right now? Fact 7. The final lesson. Jung's conclusion was stark. Some people are born with perception that outpaces the rest of humanity. Left unintegrated, it isolates, overwhelms, and destroys. But if you integrate it, you become what Jung called cultural medicine. You're not broken because you see too much. You're not too much at all. You're ahead of your time. Jung believed that people with this gift were consciousness pioneers, scouts for humanity's future. Or as he famously put it, what is not brought to consciousness comes to us as fate. So, are you one of these rare perception types? Drop your archetype in the comments. Are you the emotional sponge, the spoiler alert, or maybe Chad's worst nightmare? And hey, don't just watch from the shadows. Hit subscribe, because in my next video we're breaking down Jung's 7 most dangerous psychological traps. Trust me, you'll want to see those coming before they see you.